This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
Supported by Albertsons
and
Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Brought to you by
Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Choose VA. Veterans get the benefits you've earned. Visit choose.va.gov. And by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Now, your hosts, Dani Sureck and Brad Sham.
This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, live from Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. I am not Brad Sham. I'm Kyle Youmans filling in for the voice of the Dallas Cowboys alongside the great Dani Sureck, and we are soon to be joined by special guest Jaylon Smith, Cowboys linebacker, coming up here in just a little bit, but we're going to take some time and kind of set the scene a little bit. It is the first Miller Lite Cowboys Hour of the 2021 season, which only means one thing, Dani, and that means football is back and the regular season is finally here. That's definitely something to be excited about.
I mean, I feel like it's been forever by this point. Thank goodness the Cowboys have the first game of the entire NFL so we can get to football a little closer. There are so many things to be excited about with this team at really every position that, like, it's almost hard to think about what am I most excited about to see from this team, and it's like I don't even know who I can pick.
You're right. I mean, you think about the return of Dak Prescott. That's certainly on the minds of all Cowboys fans out there. No preseason work. Well, guess what? He's fully ready to go for Thursday in a battle with Tom Brady. But you also think about the battle of the defense versus Tom Brady as well, a resurgent defense behind Dan Quinn. I mean, there are a lot of things to be excited about. So I will put you on the spot. If you had to choose one thing, what would it be?
Like one position group, one player? What are you looking for?
Yeah, a unit, something that excites you the most.
Well, I mean, this isn't really new from last year, but the wide receiver core is so exciting with Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb, and I just feel like CeeDee Lamb is just going to have a bigger jump going into year two. We know he's not going to be so limited to the slot now that he's had a full preseason under him, so that position group is, of course, going to be so exciting, but if you're looking for an answer of maybe a new player or, you know, looking for major improvements from last year, and I'm not just saying this because of our guest, but I'm going to say the linebackers. And with Micah Parsons and Jabril Cox coming into play with Leighton Vander Esch and Jaylon Smith, our guests who will be here shortly, that is really exciting to me when you look at where you want to see the defense improve and what's been really exciting this far throughout the offseason and training camp and what we've seen.
And we're going to ask Jaylon Smith about this coming up here in just a little bit. But Micah Parsons, of course, the 12th overall pick in the first round of the NFL draft, and somebody that adds an extra versatility, adds that extra, I guess, side product that you haven't had in a while, and that's team speed on the defensive side of the football. I think all of that is certainly exciting, but how much does this make things, or at least take the pressure off of guys like Jaylon Smith and Leighton Vander Esch that are going to be in the middle of that Cowboys defense?
Oh, absolutely. The fact that he might get a few more snaps to have off and a few more breaks, and not only that, but similar to that wide receiver core, when you have so many threats in one position group, it's hard for the other team to account for that because you can't just focus on Jaylon because now you're going to have to focus on Micah or vice versa. And so having that versatility, having a lot of strong players in one position group really gives you the advantage. And so that's what I'm excited to see, is not only how great will someone like Micah Parsons be, how is that going to elevate the rest of the linebackers and their ability to go after the quarterback.
And Dan Quinn's talked about this on a couple of occasions, but he's never going to complain about having more weapons on the defensive side of the football, and certainly the addition of Micah Parsons adds that. There are a couple other additions throughout the offseason with Keona Neal, DeMonte KZ on the backside of the defense, and even Malik Hooker, a former first-round pick, that's back there as well. How much of a turnaround do you think this defense could potentially have?
Well, I think there's going to be, it's expected to be a huge turnaround. Now, you have to think about where the bar is from last year and keep that in mind, absolutely. But I do think that we're going to see a completely different defense, whether that's because of having more time with Dan Quinn or whatever, training camp might be. This defense seems more prepared. And now we've got someone who can tell us more about this defense, Jaylon Smith, everybody.
Walking up, and he's got the fire fit on, Sonic the Hedgehog on the T-shirt. Putting on the headset, and Jaylon looking fresh as always. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It feels good being back out here. We got some fans here.
Got a lot of fans are excited to talk with you just as much as we are. How good is it to be back in the mix of a regular season again?
Wonderful. We went through a lot last year, and just understanding the opportunities that's ahead of us, we're attacking it full on. Getting the opportunity to have fans back in the stadium is something that's, something we're looking forward to. We missed our fans last year, and we're going to need them the entire year.
There's really no bigger quarterback to go against than Tom Brady. Week 1, what are you most looking forward to going after him, or where do you think you're going to be able to take advantage of that?
Honestly, this would be my second time going against Tom in my career. Been a fan of him my entire life. You step on across that field and it's go time. So we're looking forward to it. We're preparing the right way. Been having this date marked for a while now. So to finally have it upon us in a couple of days is something we're looking forward to, just being able to release all the work we've been putting in.
What has that work been like and the preparation been like this week? Because there is that added excitement of one, getting back in the game and having an entire starting group and a starting unit back in there, but also knowing you get a chance to knock off the defending champions, the reigning Super Bowl champs, in their home stadium. How much extra emphasis has been put on any of that throughout the preparation?
So one thing about, professional sports, the level is continuously heightened. So you always want to know your terrain. In going into Tampa, the reigning defending champs, there's going to be a lot of emotion, a lot of intensity in the atmosphere. But for us, it's just about controlling what we can control and relying on our preparation and to allow us to succeed. So we're ready.
As you guys start to go through the rest of the season, when you're looking at film for teams you're playing for the first time, you can only do so much. It doesn't really help you to look back on last year per se, but Tampa Bay specifically has 22 of their starters, reigning Super Bowl champs. So that's got to mean something. How beneficial is that for you when you're preparing for them for the first game of the season, knowing that they've got most of their starters back?
Yeah, you can learn a lot from previous film. I still go back and watch film from multiple years ago. Because you can always pick up on different things that helps create edge. It's all about holding yourself accountable and doing whatever doing whatever's possible to prepare to be able to give your best. And we're so excited for Thursday night football coming up to open up the season. But we got to rely on our preparation and our work and making sure we're together.
What's been some of the things that whenever you've gone back and looked at film over the last couple of years that have stuck out to you and something that you apply to your game even to the day?
Honestly, preparation. Preparation meets opportunity. Understanding my alignments, understanding my assignments, and then, flying to the ball. That's where we're at our best and on defense. And we're building the right culture here. Having an off season has helped, with COVID and everything, and being able to have OTAs and mini camp. It just allows us to get, kind of acclimated to the system and, the players and the staff early. So we're excited. We're confident. It's just about going out here and giving it our all. And, winning is the name of the game. We want to win.
What are your expectations for the defense this year?
Dominance. Yeah, that's the expectation. Nothing less. And we're putting work in. We've put the work in. But you got to go do it on Sundays. We know that. We recognize that. And we're motivated.
What would you consider a dominant performance from the defense? Let's say going into Thursday night's game.
The ball. Winning the turnover battle matters. And past few years we haven't been able to get as many turnovers that we would like, especially early in the season. So it's attention to detail. It's about being taught. Our coaches are doing a great job at putting us in situations, to get the ball. And when Thursday comes, it's about us going out there and doing what we know how to do. So you just got to rely, like I said, you got to rely on your preparation. And preparation meets opportunity.
When it comes to some of these younger players, specifically in the linebacker room, you've got Jabril Cox, Micah Parsons. What advice are you giving them for preparation? Because preseason games are still different than regular season games. So what's your advice been to them this week as they get ready for their first NFL game?
Man, it's the real deal. Regular season begins, and attention to detail matters. So for me, being a leader, just making sure, that they're doing the little things right. We got a bunch of guys who can play, all across all of our positions, especially on defense. So it's just about knowing what you have to do and knowing and know having that full confidence of going out there and executing your job and making plays. We've been playing the game our whole life, so it's just about finding a way to continue to get better.
We know that you are a leader in that locker room, and you're very vocal in the way that you kind of teach the game to some of those younger players. Were there any conversations or lessons that were learned or taught even by you throughout the preseason to some of those younger guys on the sideline or maybe throughout practices?
Yeah, a lot of film study. Has definitely presented opportunities for me to help, teach, the young guys. But for me, I'm learning myself. I'm a sponge. I'm still young, 26, with a lot of ball left. So I'm always trying to soak in, knowledge from those before me and, from teammates that are younger than me. You can always learn. So I pride myself on that.
Is that crazy, the fact that we're asking you about talking to the younger guys whenever you're just 26 years old? Like, you've got plenty of football left in you. I feel like a lot of it has just become the fact that you've been around this defense for so long and you've been in the middle of it for what is now going on 5 to 6 years.
Absolutely. That's the other token of it is like, I'm the oldest guy in the linebacker room. Like,
Oldest but not old.
Yeah,
sure.
Oldest but not old.
That's a great way to put it.
Year 6, I've been around. I know my way around, and it's just a privilege, though. It's something that you have to earn. I've went through it. I've learned, and I'm ready. So, it's all about doing whatever it takes, for this team to be successful.
Well, we are excited to have you as a part of the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour for the first episode of the season. When we come back, just how much has Dan Quinn's defenses compared to the ones that Jaylon Smith has been in the past? When we come back on the other side of the break, you're listening to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour live from the Star in Frisco.
Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys, and Lucchese, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Welcome back into the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, live from the Star in Frisco. Alongside Dani Sureck, we are pleased to be joined by Jaylon Smith, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. And we've got a live audience for the first time in 2 years for the Cowboys Hour, which is kind of what we were talking about in the break there a little bit, Jaylon, of just how special it is to be back in front of a full crowd. And you're going to have an opportunity to do that on Thursday against Tampa Bay. How does that make this season and this past offseason just feel a little bit different going into a year where you know it's back to normal?
Going through, the year 2020 and all the adjustments we had to make due to, the world pandemic. It just makes you appreciate, the little things, being able to go outside, being able to go to a game and, your parents can come to the stadium and things of that nature. Like it's something that we're really looking forward to, all the chants, we have, we're America's team. So we have Dallas Cowboys fans in every, continent, every city, you name it. So it really helps, when you're out there on the field and, that support system is there, other than, the guys that you're going to battle with. So we're definitely going to cherish everything. But we got to do what we're paid to do. We got ball.
You say little things, but one of the big changes that was able to come back this year was going out to Oxnard for training camp, and especially when you have a new defensive coordinator in Dan Quinn. That's huge in terms of implementing his new defense in person with you, because last year when you guys had a new defensive coordinator, it was virtual. So having that time in person in Oxnard with Dan Quinn, how much has that helped this defense to understand his scheme so quickly and feel ready to go for this first game?
Just being able to really, get that hands-on, from walkthroughs to meetings to, in-person meetings, being able to touch somebody, it matters, you know what I'm saying? When you're trying to build a team and a culture and an identity, it can become difficult, when you're not present. But obviously we had to take those precautions. So it's really just a blessing. Like I said, we're cherishing every moment. We're doing everything that we can, to prepare the right way for a victorious season. You just got to take them one day at a time. So that's what we're doing.
You mentioned the hands-on approach from Dan Quinn, and he's been hands-on with the linebackers. He's done it with the defensive line. It seems like every practice he was out with a different unit of the defense. How is his coaching style and teaching style differed from some of the coordinators that you've had in the past?
With Dan, I know he's a former head coach, coming from Atlanta, so he understands perspective, and he understands exactly what he wants to get out of all of his players. So you just gotta cherish that. We're still learning, his rules and his foundations of kind of what defines him as a man. But over time, you learn, you grow, you adapt, and that's really what we're doing. That's what he's doing. The speed of the leader is the speed of the pack, and Dan's doing a great job at directing us.
This is your third defensive coordinator in 3 years. So throughout those changes, what have you learned about yourself, whether that's something you bring consistently on the field or maybe throughout your preparation?
Just understanding different styles. For me, it's about, knowing exactly what my responsibility is and knowing exactly the technique on how to accomplish that. The more you know and the more I know, the more successful that I am on the field. These past 3 years is understanding that team matters. You can't do it alone. All of us need each other to be successful. So going through all the trials and tribulations that we've gone through, it builds strength, it builds character. And, we're feeding positive energy and positive thoughts into what we got going on right now. So we're on the right track.
So kind of keeping along those same lines, you mentioned kind of the trials that you went through in 2020, and I want to keep it positive and put a spin on it, but what was the biggest lesson that you learned throughout that season and through what was a tough time for this defense?
No matter what, you just got to keep digging. You got to keep digging. The good, the bad, the success, the failures. Not having a winning season, you learn from it. And you can develop it. You can develop a pain body from that, or you can, use it and view it as a lesson. And that's what we've all done. And that's pretty much what's got us here. This point to, be ready for week 1.
There's a lot of new faces on this defense. Most of the draft picks, a bunch of acquisitions throughout free agency. Whether that's just with the linebackers or defense in general, what excites you the most about this defense?
We all care for one another, and whoever you put in there, has the ability to ball. So knowing that, having that confidence, that depth, it matters because it's a long season. Especially just the dreams and where we're trying to go this year. You need everyone. It takes everyone. We understand that. We value that, and we're just pushing.
Dani mentioned the draft picks. Who has stood out to you the most throughout training camp and then into the preseason and now as we get ready for week 1 out of those draft picks?
I would probably say Osa. Just the way he uses his hands really impressed me. His energy, his attention to detail. And he's a guy that's going to do some great things for us. He's a young buck. We need our young guys to play great. And that's just the expectation across the board, no matter if you're year 10 or you're year 1. And everyone's held to that standard. And if it's not right, we're going to get it right. Somebody going to say something. So that's really where we are.
Well, let's talk about another rookie. In your linebacker room, Micah Parsons, 12th overall pick. What has impressed you most about him so far?
Really just his ability to, be anywhere on the field. He can dominate, he can rush, he can pass rush, he can tackle, he can run, he can cover. There's not many limitations in this game, especially being so young. It's just beautiful seeing that. So for Micah, it's just about nurturing that and just doing things the right way. He's on track. But no surprise. There's no surprise about what Micah can do because, I've always been his big brother for a while now, so I know what he can do. We get a chance to do it together. It's a blessing.
That's right, because you guys have started talking and getting to know each other before the draft, right? How did that relationship start?
Really I don't really know how it started, honestly. I just know it was one day where we got each other numbers or we linked up on maybe FaceTime, and we've been locked in ever since. He's been a big fan of myself and, everything that I've gone through. And, me just watching all the, top great linebackers coming out. It's just there's a deeper connection just by nature. So being able to have him as a teammate, it's just a wonderful thing. Gonna do some great things together, and I'm really excited for him. Playing in his first game coming this Thursday.
We were talking, a little bit before you hopped on about it's not only so great that Micah brings so much to the table, but how that's going to affect all the other linebackers. So just talking about, all those qualities that Micah brings, how is that going to allow the other linebackers, Leighton Vander Esch, all these other linebackers, how is it going to allow you to elevate your own game?
I mean, when you're in a room full of, elite talent, and guys that care and guys that have been successful, in the league or in college. It just creates a natural overall camaraderie. So with the addition of Micah and Jabril and we got Kiki, Keanu Neal that came over from Atlanta, our guys that can ball, it just creates energy. Even guys that are on special teams, Luke Gifford, he can ball. So it's just a common denominator. And we just got to continue to hold each other accountable. Who's ever out there, got to give it they all.
Now, whenever you said you were linking up with Micah Parsons, I thought for a second you were going to say it was via LinkedIn. I thought he would just sent you a request and was like, hey, I'm going to the league. I want to try and make a connection here. It didn't happen that way, and I'm certain that he has learned a lot from you in his short amount of time here. But kind of flipping that around, how much have you learned from Micah Parsons in his short amount of time here?
I've learned a lot from him. His how he moves, his body, his transition, his elite pass rush ability. When you're a real student of the game, you can learn from anyone. So just me being able to get a grasp on him and Jabril and all the new guys coming in, Keanu transitioning from safety to linebacker. There's different movements that I love about him. Leighton Vander Esch, finally back healthy. I'm happy for him. He's a dog, and I'm confident in myself. I know what I can do. Just got to continue to do what I do. It's a blessing though. We got a bunch of guys that can contribute at a high level, and all that does is help the team. So as long as we're together, that's all that matters.
It really does feel different with that defense, especially in the middle with all those guys and all the pieces that have been being put together. But there also is something new with Jaylon Smith's game, and you might have noticed throughout the preseason there was a different number on the jersey. We're going to talk about that when we come back on the other side of the break with more of the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour live from the Star in Frisco. But first, Dani.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's, the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys, and at Omni Frisco Hotel. Kick off your stay at the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys with style. Cool off in the elevated pool, savor upscale comfort food at Neighborhood Services, and enjoy all the dining and entertainment options the Star has to offer. Visit omnihotels.com/Frisco to learn more and turn the next home game into a weekend getaway. We'll be right back.
the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Miller Lite Cowboys Hour is brought to you by Jack Black Skincare. Want to use what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit getjackblack.com today.
So glad you're with us here for the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour from the Star in Frisco, the first one of the 2021 regular season, and it is oh so sweet to be back. Filling in for Brad Sham, I'm Kyle Youmans, Dani Sureck, and our special guest today, linebacker Jaylon Smith. And Jaylon, I want to ask you, what are you most excited about now that the season is back and you get to go into week one? Sure, the Super Bowl champions are on the horizon, but what are you most excited about heading into Thursday night?
Really completing our preparation. That way, once you get all your game plan in, it's like, okay, I did all my work. I done watched all my film. Like, now it's just time to go out and do, what I've been doing since I was 7 years old. That's really the biggest thing. Just locked in, hounded in on this game plan. That's really the main focus for all of us right now, week one. We're motivated. We're focused. That's it.
And when you step onto the field, you're going to look a little different than you have last couple of years in that Dallas Cowboys jersey. You're no longer going to be wearing 54. Now you're rocking number 9. That rule changed this year, so you're not limited to a certain number based on your position. Was there any hesitation, or were you like, oh, I got to go get 9. That was my number at Notre Dame. Like, no hesitation. I want it.
Nah, there was no hesitation. Yeah, I've been number 9 my whole life, so it's kind of helped me. It's kind of helped guide me through, all that I've been through throughout my entire life. It's, helped me remain, aware and strong and humble and, just kind of created a safe haven wearing the number and understanding, the meaning behind it, what it symbolizes, and just being able to rock it in a Dallas Cowboys uniform is it's wonderful. It's something I never imagined because of the rule, but the energy works in different in mysterious ways, and the rule changes in 2021, and now I'm back at number 9, so really looking forward to it.
We've got some fans here who have the 54 jerseys. They're going to have to go get some new ones.
We got to talk to the Cowboys, man. Merchandise. We got to get some number 9s.
Get the
man.
9s back out there.
We got to get them out there, man. Every time I log on to any of my social media, it's like, oh, when the number 9 dropping? When's the number 9 releasing?
It looks
I'm
good.
like, man, I don't got no control over that, but I pray that it comes soon.
Yeah, exactly.
My mama need a jersey.
Now, you mentioned kind of vaguely about the meaning of the number to you and your family, but what is that meaning? What is the story behind the number?
Yeah, so number 9, like it resembles, like it's all about awareness. It's all about completeness and wholeness. Number 9 is the strongest single-digit number, and then it's just so safe. It's so safe. It's like I said, it's guided me throughout my entire life. If you add up all the single-digit numbers, that equals 36. 6 plus 3 equals 9. You take 36, put a 0 behind it. It's 360, which is full circle. And for me, it's about being whole. It's about being whole, and that's really, kind of how I live my life. It's all about the cycle. I'm really tapped into the 4 elements as well: fire, earth, water, and air, and you're just finding balance, between, what God gave us in life source and then knowledge, human knowledge. So I learn a lot. I'm very strategic, but my mom always taught me to be observant. So I'm just happy to be here.
There was one point growing up when I played soccer and I wore number 9, but it was not that insightful. It was because the soccer player I liked, Mia Hamm, was like 9, or like Mike Madonna. Like, it was not that insightful. So I like your reasoning a lot better.
Number 9 is also my favorite number, and I love odd numbers. So it looks unique as well.
And you wore 54, 5 plus 4.
5 plus 4
equals 9. So I mean, you've done that in the past. You've kind of had your spin on it previously.
Yeah.
What was that day like when you heard the rule change might happen and there was maybe some words starting to get to you? How exciting was that to kind of know, like, hey, I might have a chance at this?
I didn't believe it, but once it was confirmed, it was like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta get this number 9. I gotta carry on Tony's legacy. You know what I'm saying? And was able to have a great conversation with Jerry, and he blessed me with it. So. Wearing it with great honor, but we have so much to prove and to accomplish this year. That's the focus.
Let me ask you a question that when the numbers change, at least kind of in the media we were talking about, is it going to be harder, at least early on in the season, for a quarterback to look up and identify that Mike linebacker? Because if they're looking for a 54, now it's like, where is he? Is that something that can actually work in your advantage, you think, at least early on in the season? Or that's just like, no.
You hope so, right? I mean,
it sounds good, but we're professionals. I don't think Tom Brady's in year 22 or something like that. A number is not gonna phase him.
You have TB12 go up to the line of scrimmage, look up, and say, "Oh, I don't think that's number 9. I think that's 54." Yeah, I'm with you there. That's awesome. What else has been going on in the off season, off the field as well for you? I mean, I know you're very plugged in the community. Is anything on the horizon there?
Man, honestly, just being able to have the opportunity to get back out in the community this year, that's something that I'm looking forward to priding myself on, especially, in Dallas, in the DFW Metroplex. Getting a chance to play with kids, getting a chance to, play with young athletes, getting a chance to, go to some tutoring. I'm trying to tap all the way into to the community and giving back, inner city included. So it's really an honor.
You are incredibly involved in the community, not even just with the Cowboys and their community events that they have, but also in your own time. Why is it so important for you to get out there throughout the community and meet young kids or adults and really branch out and meet as many people as you can and help them in ways that you can?
I have a passion for putting smiles on people's faces. I don't really like confrontation. But I'm just a guy that, I love being around people. I learn so much from different people. That's why when COVID hit, it was like, dang, I gotta really work on myself. I kind of got to spend a little more time by myself, which was challenging at times, but beneficial. Just learning different things about, myself. But no, I'm always about the community. I'm always about giving back. I've always been a selfless guy, and I just got to continue to be myself. That's all.
Now, you mentioned that kind of that self-reflection that you had throughout COVID and how it was challenging at times. I think a lot of people throughout the pandemic have had to go through that themselves. But what was one thing that you learned coming out of that on the other side?
I think one of the things I learned is just it's okay to be home. It's okay to be home. There's 30,000 different other things that we could be doing in our lives to, kind of really help others, help ourselves. But you kind of got to have that safe haven. And, I recognized the value of my home over the pandemic. My mom just moved out here in March, so that was something that was huge. I'm a mama's boy, so having her stay 20 minutes away from myself that's definitely a blessing. They barbecued yesterday. I went over there after work, and I'm like, okay, I can get used to this.
Nice.
I can get used to this.
What you have barbecued? Anything specific? Did you do the grilling, or
No,
did somebody else do the grilling?
No, my stepdad, he grilled.
Oh, okay.
I was here working on.
Oh, that's true.
yesterday, but he barbecued. My mom made the sides, but we had like turkey legs, beef ribs. My mom made some dressing, some collard greens. Some boiled eggs. Oh, it was. Man,
But you like to cook, right?
I love.
You're
cooking.
a good cook.
Yeah, I love cooking.
What's
I love
your
cooking.
signature dish?
Man, probably my mom's famous 3-layer dip. Yeah,
What's
I'm,
all in
I'm
it?
legit.
You can't. I'm trying to expand my horizons.
You come over one day, I'll make it.
Deal.
We can
100%
shake
there.
hands. You know?
So the 3-layer dip. So is that a side or is that like an entree dip?
Entree.
Oh, it's like the full
Entree.
course.
I
But
love dips.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
in.
can cook though. I can grill. I recently learned how to make crawfish a year ago.
Nice. That's a Southern tradition.
Yeah, Southern tradition, Louisiana style. I love my Cajun food for sure.
Yeah. Now you did like a cooking segment at one point, right? Throughout the off season, was that a thing?
I did actually.
It was with Shannon, right?
I did. We
How was
learned how
that?
to make. I learned how to make like the Cowboys Philly cheese, like the Cowboys cheesesteak. It was delicious.
I was about to say, did it go
It
well?
was delicious. It went well. I needed a little more cayenne.
Oh,
but,
okay.
it'll be all right.
So if you had to do it again, you would get it right. I mean, you're
just
learning.
I like a little spice in my ice.
Oh, okay. I see what you're. That's why you like the Cajun food. It's got the spices in there.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Well, we've got plenty more to come here with Jaylon Smith on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. When we come back, we'll open up the floor to our live audience here from the Ford Center at the Star. We'll take some fan questions and get some involvement here. When we come back on the other side of the break, you're listening to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and Omni Hotels and Resorts.
Live from the Star in Frisco, just inside the front doors at the Ford Center at the Star. It is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour with Dani Sureck, Jaylon Smith. I'm Kyle Youmans, and we have got plenty more to talk about. We're going to take some fan questions coming up here in just a couple of minutes, so we'll go ahead and get people up to the mic and get ready to ask the questions for Cowboys linebacker Jaylon Smith. But first, we wanted to talk a little bit about another thing that happened this offseason into the preseason, and that was HBO's Hard Knocks. The final episode debuts tomorrow on HBO and HBO Max, and of course, the NFL film is a big part of that and putting that together. What has this been like for you being a part of that series? This would be your second time, correct? Or no, it is the first time.
It is the first.
What has it been like?
My brother and I, we watched Hard Knocks growing up, like faithfully, religiously. So, when we found out that, the Cowboys we were going to be on, we were going to basically be the Hard Knocks, team for this season, it was like, wow, like coming off of a pandemic. Great opportunity. We're going back to Oxnard, which we love being out there, for the start of training camp. There's just a lot of emotions, but just grace. It's been a great job. I feel like they've done a great job with all the episodes. I can't wait to watch the one tomorrow.
So you've watched up until this point, right?
Yes.
What has been the most surprising thing you've learned about a teammate or coach?
Man, you put me on the spot.
Or maybe funniest thing that you saw.
There was a lot of funny things, honestly. I thought it was cool seeing like Amari Cooper and CD kind of talking about different route running and things like that. It is very educational, but just shows, it kind of put on display the work that we put in. And even if you're an elite talent, you can always learn. And like I said, that's something I've always prided myself on, is just continuing to learn. So I think Hard Knocks has done a great job at displaying that for sure. But there's been a lot of funny moments as well that you definitely get a kick out of for sure.
Now, I feel like one of the things that have been highlighted throughout Hard Knocks has been the side competitiveness throughout the locker room. I mean, whether it's chess or it's playing cards or something of the sort. Is there something in the locker room that maybe we don't know about that you're the best at in terms of maybe a side competition like that? Because you're a competitive guy,
I'm competitive.
Much like everybody else.
I'm competitive.
Is there something you're?
I know. I don't know if there's spoiler alert or anything. It'd probably be on. I don't know if it's gonna be on the episode tomorrow, but we play it's like a tennis ball in the locker room, in the middle of our locker room. What's it called, Joe?
With a dodgeball.
Hamper
basketball, like hamper basketball. Yeah.
And they've got shots of this, the Hard Knocks crew has
I
been
don't know.
in there.
I hope if they did it. That's one thing they missed. But it gets intense.
Is it heated?
It gets intense.
Who gets the most heated while playing hamper tennis basketball in the locker room? We need to come up with a better name for that, by the way.
I would say since I've been here, the most competitive team that I seen was Dak and Cole Beasley.
Okay, but who's the best? If they're the most competitive.
No, they were legit. No.
They were the best too?
Cole could shoot it with his left hand and make it. It was legit. But, the competition is always real. It's a lot of one-on-one competition this year going on whenever I'm walking through the locker room, seeing guys play. Micah's lost a lot. He can't shoot.
I like how you had to sprinkle that in there.
He can't shoot. No,
just by the
way, he's not from Indiana. That's what we do in Indiana. We hoop.
Yeah, you guys ball out in Indiana. PA, not so much. Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Nah.
That's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and take some fan questions from our live audience. Go ahead and step up to the mic and say your first name before asking the question.
Yeah, my name is Bill. This is more like, I find it, back to the numbers, I find it also ironic. You've been here for 6 years now, You got your number 9, which also goes 9 times 6 is 54.
Come on, man.
I know, right?
You know?
Say, now, do you also find all this ironic, or do you believe it was fate that you got number 9 back?
No, I believe it was fate. I believe it was fate. I didn't think it would be possible because of just the rule change. The rule has been set in stone for probably 100 years. But no, I believe in energy, manifestation, and just kind of realizing all your dreams.
Amen.
Even things you can't see.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Yeah, no, it's good.
All
I
right,
appreciate
so
that, man.
we're going to see you in a couple of weeks.
Man. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. And I was kind of going back to that conversation that we had about the number 9 and how unlikely it was for you to end up with that number, and now you have a chance to show it out. Does it give you a little extra chip on your shoulder this year to maybe show out with that number on your chest?
And just peace. And just peace as well, for sure. Like I said, I've been wearing it literally my entire life, so just the wholeness behind it. I'm ready to ball. I'm ready for our team to ball. Like, we've been putting in so much work, but what matters is winning, and that's our focus. That's our focus.
I'll put in the call. Let's try and move this game up to tomorrow so we can just get it done already. All right, what's our next fan question?
My name is Corey. I heard you talk about that you like to remember your game after certain linebackers. So my question would be, like, coming in the league or just now, any past or present linebackers that you kind of look up to, or just kind of see what they're do on the film that you trying to take, bits and pieces of to add to your game? Yeah,
absolutely. Growing up, you always watch Ray Lewis, and his leadership was just incredible. Patrick Willis did a great job at displaying all of his abilities. Luke Kuechly was sideline to sideline. It's something I loved about him. Bobby Wagner doesn't miss a tackle. That's something that I mimic my game after and aspire to be and do. It's just about London Fletcher, who played for the Washington. He was just consistent, longevity. Like, I try to take my game from all different players who's played the game before and who are currently playing, and kind of make it into my own. And for me, it's just about continuing to be successful, continue to make plays that can help this team win. And that's something that I've done since I've been here, just looking forward for the opportunity to do it in 2021. We got our fans back, we got a great group, and we're motivated. We want to win.
Now, kind of on the back end of that, you said you modeled it after those guys. Who do you feel like you most mimic in terms of the guys now as to where you are as a linebacker?
I don't know.
There's a lot of good linebackers.
I don't know. There's a lot of good linebackers out there in the league right now, for sure. There's a lot of, even, we're playing Tampa. You got Levante David and Devin White, they're elite linebackers. Here with the Cowboys, we're loaded. So I just love seeing the position plan played the right way. And any chance that I can get better, I'm going to work for it. So it's an incredible opportunity we got coming up Thursday to, put on display how we've been working.
It almost feels like getting ready for like the first day of school is you're so anxious, you just want it to come, because then by that point you can just get into your normal routine and, any nerves or anything will come out. Like, do you still get nervous before a game, or is it just excitement at this point?
No, I mean, being nervous isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of like I would call it jitters, because it's like you're anxious to play this game, the terrain, everything that comes with it. It's naturally a build-up, but you got to go through your routine and your process to kind of dial in and lock in. A lot of us refer to it as like flipping the switch, and that's just something you got to do if you want to go out there and be successful.
Well, you've got a couple days until you've got to flip that switch. Yeah. But, man, it really is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Really quickly, what is one thing we need to watch you for on Thursday night, or something we should be excited about?
I think that you guys should be just excited to see a team go out there and really want it. A team to go out there together and, playing at a high level. We're going to be together through it all. There's always ebbs and flows during the game. There's always ups and downs, and it's about how you overcome that.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're going to be together, and we're going to go out here and ball.
It's a new defense, a new season, a new number for Jaylon Smith. Lots to be excited about. Special thanks for joining us today. It's been a lot of fun getting to talk to you. For Dani Sureck, I'm Kyle Youmans. For Ted Nichols-Payne and our entire audience here at the Ford Center, that's going to do it.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!